Vlog style? Well, vlog style. I'm going to add a piece into this vlog. A little build. Just a little build. Alright? Now, take a lot of heat from my older videos for them being so long-winded and I don't really show everything, whatever. Here's a hint. Look at the date of the video. It's been quite a while since I did that. Alright? Alright. This happens to be an 11/64 bit. That's what that is. 11/64 bit. That is exactly the wick holes that are in my subtank right now. Okay? I'll go through this just because. Just because. Maybe I'll throw some other build videos up there. More relevant ones. Newer ones. Because I was just learning back then. And all those videos, I had to turn this down to 25 watts. Yes, 25 watts. It's actually not a sub-ohm anymore. It comes out to 1.1 on my iStick, but it comes out to 1 ohm even on the Sigelli and on the ohm reader. But the iStick reads it at 1.1, and 25 ohm or 25 watts is 5.2 volts. And it is a lovely vape. I have diner floats in here right now from Flavor Crafters, the Evolve line. It is a 8515. Alright? All that out of the way. All that out of the way. Alright. This is your normal subtank head. That is your normal wick hole in your subtank head. Alright? I'm gonna ramble in this because I ramble, and I'm gonna post it as a vlog anyhow. So, this is basically, yeah, it's a little off, but it's basically the same size drilled out hole. In that, yes, you can take the top off. It makes everything so much easier. Yes, you can actually take the bottom off too. Now, these are just the standard sub-tank heads. I know. New ones have come out, and they're vertical in nature. Yes, I don't have those yet. Okay? Speaking on what I got. Alright? This is the build that's in my subtank right now. Alright? You take said drill bit, place wire on drill bit, right? And we wrap 1, 2, 3, 4. That is what's in my subtank right now. 4 wraps of 26 gauge comes out to 1 ohm. Alright? Looks like that. Yeah, it's a big sucker. It's a big sucker. Well, why is it so big? Because I like to run, and I'm just pulling on the wire ends right now. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Straighten it out, you know. That's what we do. That's what we do. Now, let me straighten this out a little bit more. There will be no dry firing of this. Might smush it just a little bit together. Doesn't really help. It evens it out a little bit. Doesn't really help. And what I like to do is take one of the leads. Okay? I don't know if this will show. I'll try. I take one of the leads. usually the farthest one out for some reason. And I bend it in. Why do you do that? Why do you bend it in? And then I bend it back straight again. Or close to straight. Why? Because then when I put it inside there, the positive one is actually going at an angle and keeps it away from the sides of the head itself. Okay? That's why. And we just feed the wires down in there. I do keep my bit on there as long as possible. Okay? Move stuff out of the way. We get that down in there, just like that. Alright, there's the coil. Whoop, down into the head. I gotta tip it so I can see it. And we stick the drill bit back in, through the coil, through the head, and it looks like that. Just like that. That's what it looks like. You're saying, well, it's so close to the top that it's going to hit that piece. Actually, no, it's not. It is actually far enough down where that does not happen. Now, because I was talking the whole time and not really paying attention, the lead that goes straight down and is actually touching the side right now, I'm just going to bend that up, and that's my negative now. Okay? And the other lead goes kitty corner. Ooh, drop the bit out of there. Hold on, we're getting there. The other lead, which doesn't show up very well because I move around a lot, and there's weird lighting in here, comes out crooked. Alright? Now, I got the negative trapped on the side that the negative is. And we put our little rubber grommet down. And we push it down and we make it pretty and whatever. And there it is. Now I have this positive that crooks out, and it pretty much is going to come out the same side as that negative. I'll move it over just a little bit and I'll trap it right there. So they're both kinda on the same side. That's how I do mine. Alright? That's how I do mine. And you push the little center pin in, like so. Make sure all your wires are taut, just like so. Okay? I still don't remove the bit. Why? Because things may move while you try to do this. Okay? They might. You never know. So I take the one closest to me, which happens to be the positive. I get as close to that positive as I can. Positive center pin. And bling, it's gone. Trapped in somebody's foot later. Might want to trim it just a little bit farther. Now, I have my finger on top of the coil, so I can feel it moving just a little bit when I do that. And that just a little bit is enough to knock it out of place if you don't have your drill bit still in place. Or whatever you're wrapping it on. And now, we have this really nice, wide, spaced out coil in here that won't move, and it stayed, and it's pretty, and there it is. Okay, let's come back up a little bit. Yeah, something like that. I know my videos ain't the greatest quality. I know that. You know that. Does it matter? I'm just showing you. Now, we have some Japanese cotton. Both ends still on it. And y'all hate me for twisting it up like this, but I'm not using this part. I'm not using this part at all that I just twisted up. All I'm using that for is to so quickly feed it through my coil. And when I get it through the coil, and my coil's not really moving that much, but I will wiggle it back and forth just a little bit, and I will pull this puppy right to the brink of destruction. Right there. Alright? It's right there. See that? I didn't bring a skizzers over. Skizzers. We need a skizzers, don't we? A skizzers. Skizzers. Let's see here. There's skizzers up here? There's a skizzers up here. Why does he keep saying skizzers? Because he can. You take your head, line it up, don't chop your finger off, and cut it even with the head. It's that easy. Then you get something that looks like that. Alright? Well, heaven forbid you just cut off some wire, and you can just take that wire and fluff up that wick a little bit. This is the same exact thing. And I also like to take the wire and poke it as far as I can through the cotton into the coil. It makes kind of like a little tube in there. And it just seems to wick a little bit better. And we'll do the other side just for the hell of it. I'll fluff that up and around. No, you can't just set this on a ohm meter now and check it either. You have to actually put it in your base to check it. Back to the other side again. You gotta fluff it up a little bit. Make sure it's not causing any problems with your hole there. Just takes a minute. Get it all nice and fluffed up, and it covers the hole. There's no air gap in there. Okay? There's no air gap on that side. Alright? Don't see no light coming through it. Nothing. And it looks just like that. Nice and pretty. Spaced out. Whoopity-doo. Right? That's how we do it. Now, you just take that top piece and stick it back over. Just kind of raw a little bit. Sometimes you gotta raw. Alright? Yeah, it's gapped out. It's a press fit item. Okay? Don't want to go and squeeze on your center pin. If you squeeze on the center pin, you're going to push the center pin up in there. Because that is press fit also. So I just work my way around nice and slow. And it's okay if it's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfectly lined up. If you're OCD about it, you can line it up perfect if you want. But this one's not perfect. It doesn't matter. You could turn it a half a turn. You could turn it a quarter turn so it almost looks like a diamond instead on top. It doesn't matter. It still works the same. Okay? And I can see down in there still. And the coil is nowhere near that top piece. And if we stick this on the eye stick, on the base of the sub-tank, juicy, those extra big wicking holes, see, the same thing I got in there, big, giant, smells like root beer in here now. Come on, there we go. Set you down. My fingers smell like root beer now. Vapor towel, anyone? Vapor towel, anyone? Yeah, I will say also with this normal size subtank, the original one. Now when I put this down, my ohm readings can be a bit wonky at times. And it's the airflow adjustment ring on there not giving a proper ground. Okay? We'll stick it on the high stick. We won't fire it. And it's reading 1.2. But if I spin the airflow a little bit, it goes to 1.0. The exact same thing I was vaping on a minute ago. Steady, Freddy, steady. Okay? Exact same thing. It was in 11:30 seconds, real bit, and it works wonderfully. Put this one right back in. Same thing. You won't be able to see it because of that root beer liquid. It's just too dark. It is the same thing. And we moved our airflow ring. Stay. The airflow ring kills me every time. I gotta wiggle it till it hits its lowest ohm. 1.1 is what it's reading after I wiggled. Alright? Same thing. Beautiful. We can even go higher than that. Should we dare to go 30? 30 watts is 5.7 volts. Works just fine. It's a little warmer in a tank than I like, though. So we'll go back down to 25. And there it is. Show a little bit in there. Just a little that I've been getting lately. People seem to go to your channel because you have a certain video up. And when you have a certain video up, well, that's what they're looking for. If you put in Aspire BDC coil rebuild, then that's what people are going to go look for. But it's been a really long time since I've done one of those. Check the date of the video. It's kind of new to doing that whole thing. So if it goes longer, or if I ramble on too much, so be it. Doesn't really bother me though. Negative comments, positive comments. Comment's a comment, right? Comment's a comment. I don't know. I had to get that out. I had to get it out somewhere. Why not here? Why not? Why not on YouTube? Now, you all heard it when I clipped that first wire, and I was pretty sure that it landed on the table. And all I find is the short wire. So we're going to go look underneath your skirt for a second. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. But it may have just flung onto the floor, which is what the magnets in the switch of the Nemesis are for. I'll just walk that around a little bit, and we'll find it. That's how it is. Now, even with my rebuild in the subtank, I still find it slightly more flavorful than my Atlantis. However, I've used my Atlantis every day, and I do not use my subtank every day. Why? Because I get consistency out of this. How I like to vape. Yes, the subtank has more flavor. Do I want more flavor? Not really. I like enough flavor to where I know what it is. This actually has more flavor than that. It doesn't have more flavor than this, but it has more flavor than what I'm actually looking for. what I'm looking for is volume vaping. This is nice. This is nice. But more what I'm into is what the Atlantis gives me. Now, this is just the 0.5 head, and it reads 0.6 on my iStick. I'm going to put it on my MOSFET box that I built on cam a week ago, whatever it was. And it just volume vapes better. And the flavor's there. A little more flavor than I really need. Which is why, it's dumbed down a little bit in flavor. Just a little bit. It's not a lot. But I don't need the whole bang pop in my face flavor that subtank will give me. Some people like a lot of flavor. Go get yourself a subtank. And by no stretch is this bland. It's just not as quite of a pow in your face as it is out of that. My opinion. Subtank compares a lot closer to flavor than to a dripper, really, than the Atlantis does. It's just how it is. Now, another note, the coil heads in the Atlantis seem to last a really long time for me. I'm talking like a month. I don't think I've ever had factory coil heads that have lasted that long without having to do something or re-wick them or whatever. My first real Aspire head, Atlantis head, that I put in here lasted about a month, but it was my fault. I went to fill it up, and I just finished sanding and painting and vaping and sanding and painting and vaping. And when I went to fill it up with juice, I looked inside of it, and it was all like paint chips and just the dust that collects from painting and sanding. All was collected on top of the coil, and I went, yeah, I don't want to vape that anymore. It was still tasting just fine. It was still performing just fine. But when you look at it and you see something bleh, like that, it makes you want to change it. There was nothing wrong with the coil. It was still working. But with all that extra gunk on there that shouldn't have been on there in the first place, okay. Now, I don't usually run this at full airflow. I'm one notch down, okay? Okay? I say okay a lot. Whatever. It is what it is. And I noticed they look so nice and clean on the outside. And then you look in the airflow hole, which my camera's not going to pick up. If you look in the airflow hole, it's not going to catch enough light for it. Oh, just a little bit. See that dark spot in there? That's basically dirt in the air collecting on that inner part. I barely ever use fully wide open. And you might be able to tell, but that is a hell of a lot cleaner. It pretty much looks brand new right there compared to the dark spot you see in here. If I get it. There it is. See the dark spot? That's where all your air hits when you're sucking in. That's the dirt in the air, man. Now, it almost tempts me to wrap a piece of cotton or something around here and vape it for a couple of days with a thin layer of cotton, maybe like one of the layers you pull off with Cogendo or something, and wrap it on there and vape through that just to see how much dirt and junk is in the air that you're vaping, because this is the hole I use and it's very dirty, and that's just from the air. So, kind of begs the question, when you're doing all these studies about what's in vapor, I hope they're doing it in a clean room, in a clean environment with all sorts of filters and whatnot, because some of that junk just might be in the air you're breathing. Just a side note. Oh, love the Atlantis. I didn't think I was ever going to love the Atlantis as much as I do. Yes, I think about like a Zephyrus. That looks tempting. Zephyrus looks tempting. What really looks tempting is the new Subtank Plus. The rebuild deck in that. And the amount of airflow and all that. Not like my rebuild deck that is so K-funny and tight-drawed that it's really lagging. But, you know, I have an original one. Not like the mini that came out with the cooler rebuild deck. But the Subtank Plus, the new kit, has that new rebuild deck in there that just pushes on. And if you want to, you can set that little screw down to tighten the cap on. Mr. Grim Green over there did a bid on it already, I believe. Was it Mr. Grim Green? Oh, it was Phil. Phil did a video on it. Phil did a video on the whole kit. Sorry, Nick. I get you guys confused every once in a while. Mr. Phil, Mr. Basardo, he did a video on it. Very nice video. Go check it out. Why not? You're already on YouTube. Go check it out. Anything else I want to get off my chest? I don't know. I don't really have a set thing when I set up the vlogs. They are what they are. Just thoughts. If I ever want to go back and check it out, we should. I mentioned Nick. And then I see a beer can, so we should grab a beer. This is not the most tastiest beer ever. That's for sure. So that's for sure. But it's beer and it's cheap. It's like $13 or something like that for a 36 pack. 36 pack. And it's Boxer Ice. Well, I tried some Boxer, that wasn't too bad. And I said, well, Boxer Ice, that's going to be like Ice House or Natural Ice or something like that. Not quite. Those taste better, actually. Can you even do that? You can do that. Has a very rich, lagery taste to it. I don't think it even says anything to the fact on that. Monroe, Wisconsin. It's all good. That's close enough to Minnesota, so we're going to drink it. But that's what that is. It's not hard to take these apart. Going right back to that subtank head. But we'll do another one. See the comparison? Little pinhole, giant hole. Alright? I don't even know which head I took apart. This one's actually been rebuilt a couple of times with different things, such as twisted 28 gauge, parallel 28 gauge. But the single 26 gauge spaced out seems to be working pretty damn well. And I didn't think it was gonna, because I did try one of these with a 24 gauge build, and I think I put 6 wraps in it, and it immediately burnt the insulator on the bottom. Okay, immediately. No dry hit, no nothing, just automatically went, and that was it. So, let's see here. Don't mind me. I'm going to put these back up in here. We do have a used Atlantis head up here. Has anyone ever noticed? You have that nice screen in there. And I've taken my screen out. This thing's still full of juice. See if this even comes up. It looks like coffee in there. It really does. It looks like coffee. I'm not using a lot of dark juices. You know, some of them are a little brown or whatnot, but it actually looks like coffee grounds sitting on the top. It's so dirty. I did pull the screen out of it. I also noticed on these, if they're starting to weaken out and they're not quite wicking uh, as well as they should, there's a little trick. You can take a piece of, let's say, 26 gauge, because we have some 26 gauge right here, and you're on like your last head and you can't make it to the store for a couple of days. Alright? Timber. I've dropped my Atlantis 21 times now, probably, or more. Now, you got where the wicking holes are, right? Well, you can stick a piece of wire in there, kitty corner, and open up them pores just a little bit. Wiggle it around a little bit. Go to the next one. They are in between places though, so some of them you can't really get into, but some of them you can. And if that's just not doing it for you, you can also take the screen out of the top, no screen in the top, and between where the coil is and the side of it, sorry, I gotta look at it, you push the wire down in there and just go around, and it will open up some pores in the cotton. And wiggle it around. Don't let it get stuck and shove your cotton down in there, but just wiggle it around and shove it down in there. Opens up the pores of the cotton, and then it works almost, because there's gunk on your coil, almost works as good as it did when it was brand new. I don't know. That's a little thingy I learned. Should we keep this around? That's probably enough to do one more subtank with. So we'll keep that around, I guess. Everybody loves when you get up. I can get up. Just a vlog. Nothing too informative. Still not a gigantic fan of the marquee. Just not. Not a gigantic fan of the marquee at all. This thing always has juice in it because I get tired of vaping it. I just picked it up. I don't know how long it's been sitting up there. I don't know what it's at. I don't know what it's at. We can grab the cig. Cig's always fun. Cig's always fun. Oh, we got something else here too. So I picked this up the other day. Why, oh why did you pick that up? Because I can. Got a pack of heads, right? There are 2 heads in there. So expensive for 2 heads. And pick that up. I haven't opened these. This kind of just opened all by itself. 2-pack heads. There's a head that comes with it, battery, a charger. So you essentially get 3 heads, replaceable heads, chargers in there, battery. Okay? Thinking about doing a giveaway on that. Why? I ain't gonna use it. Why did you pick it up if you ain't gonna use it? So I had a coupon in my pocket, and it was for buying one of these for $1. $1 got me that. Buying one of these for $1. So I picked that up, and I picked this up, and after tax on $2, because you know certain percentage is tax when it comes to nicotine products, whatever the hell you want to call it. It was like $3.86 or something like that, that's a huge tax. You know that if that would have been $4, that would have been 200. 100%, 200% tax. Is that how that works out? Oh, I love trying to fit button top batteries in my Sig. Button top batteries don't fit in all devices. Okay, just put that out there. And I gotta rewrap this one. Sig bunk. Now you can turn it on. 5 clicks. Skelly works beautifully. Get me wrong. Not bad, you know? Really not bad in size. See, I'm just going to keep knocking that Atlantis. Two 18650s. Goes up to 100 watts. It's got juice all over the 510 connection. And we pulled that out for the marquee. I don't know why, but alright, whatever. I have this at 40 watts right now, which is, aren't reading quite right, but yeah, there's juice coming out the juice flow holes. I don't vape it. I fill it up, I vape a couple pulls, and then I put the thing down because I don't like it. Oh, it's got that junk juice in it too. There's another reason why I'm not vaping it. There was a couple of juices. Let's go down to 30 watts. I'm at 0.6. It's 4.4 volts. There was a couple juices from Flavor Crafters that I didn't care for. They have a milky after flavor, during flavor, whatever you want to call it. This is one of them. It's a melon one. I know this is supposed to be like this awesome flavor addy, and you can tell it's super juicy. It is. It's super juicy. Got some nice red juice in there, and flavor for days, yo. Right? Just it almost smells good. Just not feeling this thing. So I tried twisted builds in it. I tried 24 gauge builds in it. I tried parallel 28 gauge. I've tried all sorts of stupid stuff. And, in showing that, people were like, hey, you're putting the wrong kind of builds in there. Just put a normal build. Alright, there's dual 26 gauge in there. It's kind of a normal build. I did try dual 28 gauge in there. I'm not going to go pull out my 32 gauge from doing my pro tanks back in the day and put that in there. Because, man, it's a dripper. I don't want to put 32 gauge in a dripper. That is terrible juice. That's terrible juice. Hello to everybody from Vapors TV. In case you don't know, I do a cast on Vapors TV every now and then, whenever I feel like it. Started modding for another fella on there, GuardWolf21. He has a YouTube channel. Go check him out. Might as well plug a few things while I'm in there. Someone, Cass, I don't think Cass will watch this, but said, hey, I got some like 36 milligram Nick, and it's mostly PG. Would you vape that? And I immediately said, sure. And they're like, no, you wouldn't. Well, I wouldn't in my normal build. I wouldn't wrap a 0.2 with some 24 gauge and vape that. But if I took some of that 32 up there and wrapped it up to about 3 ohms, no problem. Just saying. Tasty. Not really. It's not really tasty. But it does the job. Dislike the marquee. Not a hit on the 3 makers. You have something there. You do. But I found it to throw out just as much cloudage as my other drippers that have bigger airflow holes. Same amount of flavor as my other drippers. I like it because it's chunky, and I bought the white one, so it's different in my box. So I do like the white look on there. But just, I don't know. I still have yet to put chimney-style coils in here and try to wick that. I just can't wrap my head around putting blankets of cotton around them and then putting it down in the well. But maybe eventually. Eventually. I'm sure I'll get bored enough one day to do it. But not today. Why do you keep vaping that if you don't like it? I'm trying to vape the juice out, really. So if I vape the juice out, maybe I'll show you with a juice that I do like, that it still doesn't perform. So I can grab the CLT V2 Plus, sitting up there, put whatever build I want in it, rock it however I want, and it still outperforms this. Now, you may not be able to do it with my old Helios, but I still, at the moment, am getting a better vape out of my Helios than I am stand up, than I am the Marquis. It just seems like, you know, and I'm sure it's build dependent, but no matter what I threw in this, I didn't get a, wow, this is a flavor addy. This thing is going to be just awesome. And this is what I was going to use all the time because it was hyped up so much about how much flavor comes out of it. Maybe I'd be able to pick out different notes of juices and all that. I can't. It's no different to me. It's more restrictive. It's warm. It keeps the heat in way longer than any of my other devices because it's one big brick of metal in there. But I don't know. Should we see what it looks like now? It's still as juicy as can be. I'm hardly eating any juice, which is kind of nice. It's sipping the juice, and I mean, it does put out. It's sipping the juice, though. So maybe we'll just stop vaping that. So giveaway, we're not going to do a giveaway today. And I haven't decided how I'm going to do a giveaway yet. But I do have this. Fresh, in the box. Okay? I did at one point say, and I don't know if I will or not, I did at one point say, if I hit 200 subscribers, I would give my first mechanical away. Nobody really wants it, but it would have been something. Well, now I kind of have something else that I could give away to a new vapor or someone that wants to try this that has never tried it. I also have something else to give away. And I haven't decided how I'm going to do that either. This is a Z-Max Mini. I got it for free. I have two of them. Now, I've taken it out of the box, and that's it. Why did I take it out of the box? I took it out of the box, and I've probably mentioned this before in another vlog, and I'm not going to be able to get this out of here. But mind me, I'm going to grab the screwdriver so I can get underneath the connector here and pull it out. It's been in here for a while. The Z-Max Mini isn't this big. Alright? The Z-Max Mini is this big. And it takes an 18350. Okay? Goes up to 15 watts. Forget what it fires. 1.2 ohm, I believe. Up to 3 ohm? Something like that. So more along the lines of a newer vapor with something like an Aspire Nautilus that's 1.8 ohms is perfect on this device, but not in this mode. In 18350 mode, you will not care for the battery life. You will have to carry at least 3 batteries with you for the day. So I went out and I purchased the extension tube. Extension tube goes in. Yes, it's brushed just like the rest of the mod. So it's all matchy-matchy. All matchy-matchy and pretty. See that? Can't even tell. Can't even tell it's there. And now it takes an 18650. And the battery life is so much nicer. Okay? Thought I heard rain. This does have, I'll open it up for you. It's got the tray, right? And underneath there's an instruction book in there. Okay? Tells you all the functions and whatnot. And it's one of those clicky systems. You click it a certain amount of times, you go through the menu, power up, power down, all sorts of stuff. There's 8 menu items on there. Everything from turning the device off. Yes, you just can't click it a few times and turn it off. You have to go through the menu to turn it off. And to turn the screen off, you can just turn the screen off and vape it with the screen off. That is actually kind of nice because the LEDs in this are really frickin' bright and will light your whole car up at night. Okay? So I do have a couple of things. I just don't know how I want to give them away yet. Now, I think last time I checked, I was at like 94 subs. This channel's been up for quite a long time, and I realize that I don't do great videos, but there is some information in there. And you would think with all the people out on YouTube, there would be a little bit more. I would be happier in the triple digits. I'm not asking for a miracle here, but I don't really want to give anything away on my YouTube channel unless there's 200 subs. That's just me. I'm setting that at 200 subs. 200 subs, and maybe we'll vote which one we want to give away. And for the hell of it, even though nobody wants it, at 200 subs, I will also, I'll throw it out there. Nobody wants it, but I'll throw it out there. Just for the heck of it. Where is it? It's up here in the mash. We can set this stuff right there. It's up here in the mash. I'm going to knock all sorts of things over trying to pull it out. You may have not seen it. This is an H100 off of eBay. It still works just fine. I did have to add a different 510 connection to it because the one that came on it was janky. So I put this beauty ring on it from, Ego Cone ring. That's going to go with it. I don't use those anymore. So that's going to go with it. But it would look like that. It does not have the flush top anymore. But it makes a really nice backup device. And it's telescoping. It's telescoping, so it goes down 18,350. What is that? 18,490, 500 in the middle, all the way up to 18,650. Alright? Which is probably actually right about there. Okay? It's just a mechanical mod. Has a switch, has a locking ring on it, so you can't push it. Everything works. Just a little spring-loaded switch down in there. Everything works. It's never done me wrong. And we just telescope it right back down. This is a clone of the Empire mod, or the K100. The Empire mod was first. Camry cloned it with the K100. And then other people started cloning it, calling it whatever. This is an H100. Clone of a clone. Okay? It's what it is. It works. It does the job. It's a nice standby item. But I have 2 Nemis up there. And I haven't been touching those because I have the box mods. So, at 200 subs, to hell with it, I will give this away. And then we can vote on what the hell you want to give away out of those 2. Maybe we'll vote, it'll be dead even, and I'll end up giving 3 things away. It's no problem. Works for me if it works for you. But they're just taking up space. I really don't have that much space to deal with. You can see my box is like super full. I have a Coil Master kit coming. He had a coupon out there. It was really cheap, and that means that I can get rid of most of that up there. Put the essentials up on that shelf and have all my tools in one place. I'm really not that stoked. Sorry, Coil Master, but I'm really not that stoked about getting the Coil Master itself. I do just fine wrapping on a screwdriver or a drill bit. I do just fine doing that. Parallel, micro, whatever. Doesn't really matter. I can wrap it. Now, if you had a Coil Master that would wrap a Clapton coil, that would be something. But I'm not too stoked on the Coil Master itself. The kit, though, looks very, very interesting. And I'm sure you'll see a review up for it when it comes up. When it comes in. Something like that. Maybe we'll just do a first look thing at it. Everybody's seen Coil Master vids out there. But, yeah, it is what it is. So, 3 things I can give away. 3 things I can give away, but I am asking for 200 subs. Now, if I get 200 subs and then 100 of them leave right after the giveaway, it's all good. No big deal. I got there. That's all I wanted. There's like 228 vids on my channel. Yes, I realize my bike vids that are on my channel are kind of slow, kind of boring. But if you're just, want to watch somebody cruise around for a little while, just pop that up, just sit back. I suggest you turn off the sound because some of the sound could be pretty bad. I did put a new camera mount on my gas tank, so it's behind my windshield, and that seems to cut out a lot of the air noise, which is kind of nice. I don't know why that stupid GoPro has such terrible sound. You ever watch all those GoPro videos? See, I'll just run off on a tangent. You ever watch those GoPro videos and all you hear is the music in the background? Why do they play that music in the background? Because the GoPro microphone sucks balls. That's why. And if you use the little feature where you connect it with your phone via Bluetooth so you can control your GoPro with your phone, then you have this weird buzzing noise all the time because it's picking up the Bluetooth interference. And that's annoying because that would be nice to be able to control what I'm doing on the phone while I'm videoing whatever. With sound. With sound. Put that up there. With sound. Because the way it is right now, even with the update, I still get this weird noise in the background. And the microphone doesn't even pick up sounds that good when you have Bluetooth enabled on it. It's better without Bluetooth enabled on it, and I don't know if it's the waterproof case that it's in. So I haven't really tried it without the case, but maybe it's the waterproof case that it's in. It will muffle the sound really bad, and it's showing it's just a plastic case. It's not, soundproof. Did we ramble enough? This went pretty long. This went longer than I thought it would. I do have other things I have to get to yet, but I don't think I'm going to get to those tonight. I've probably said it before also. As far as my iStick goes, other than those 2 little mishap firings that it did that one time, 2 in a row, where it just auto-fired by itself, it hasn't happened again. Yeah, I'm a bad boy. I charge this overnight while I'm sleeping. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter if I plug it into the wall. Doesn't matter if I plug it in the computer. Doesn't matter if I use some goofy charger from the kids. It charges just fine, and it lasts me all day. I'm perfectly satisfied with this iStick. Awesome device. Root beer. That's all I gotta say about that. Good stuff. I'm sure there's other things I wanted to cover, but I don't write nothing down. So, it is what it is. Got goofy things to vape on. Especially after you vaped a good juice. And this part's not a hit on the marquee. This is just a bad juice. Alright? Especially after you've had a good juice, you hit that bad juice and it's just, really? And there's still plenty of juice in there, and it just won't come out. And I wish it would. Maybe I'll rewick it. Maybe I'll rebuild it again. I kind of dislike rebuilding on it though, so it is what it is. Anyhow, guys, thanks for letting me ramble for a while. You all have fun, because I know I will. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.